It's April and daffodils are blooming in my garden here in the Pacific Northwest. My name is Marianne Binetti, and I'm going to give you a tip of how to reuse and recycle and have bulbs blooming in the spring, but instead of planting the bulbs in the fall, as you normally would to get daffodils, I'm going to show you how to plant them in the spring. So what we're doing is, earlier, like in February, March, when it was still too cold to have bulbs blooming in my garden, I bought these potted bulbs. This is a hyacinth. Here's some dwarf daffodils and some tulips. Now, they're done blooming because they were forced into flower in a greenhouse. And I just bought them to have really early spring color on my porch. So now it's time to move these bulbs, they're done flowering, into the garden so they will come back and flower again next spring. First thing I'm going to do is cut off the faded blooms and the stem. So this tulip is done blooming. Removing its stem. I'm removing the stems, these tulips. Okay, so all we have left is the pot and the leaves. You must leave the foliage of these spring flowering bulbs so that they can yellow and make next year's flowers. Now I'm massaging the pot, turning it upside down, and now I can carefully pull apart the bulbs that were packed into that pot. Now, a little tiny bulb like this, I'm not going to replant. I'm going to replant these 3 tulip bulbs into the soil, letting the greens just go ahead and fade and turn yellow. So here's the daffodils in that pot upside down. Very easy to pull apart because they've been growing in potting soil. So I'm pulling apart these daffodils. There's a little baby one on the side. And again, I can cut off the stem because those daffodils have finished blooming, but leave the leaves. And finally, here's a hyacinth. It's all faded. I'm cutting off the stem, leaving the foliage, turn that upside down. There's just one bulb, hyacinth bulb in here. I'll loosen the roots a little bit. So now, here's the fun part. Just find a vacant spot in your garden. And these bulbs that have already flowered can slowly turn yellow, wither, disappear in the summer, and then next spring, they'll do this. So that is how I get the use of early flowering bulbs that I purchased, already potted, enjoyed them, and then when they're done flowering, move them out to the garden, put them in my flower beds, and they'll rebloom again next spring. This has been Marianne Binetti with Easy Answers for Great Gardens.
If you enjoyed these gardening tips, subscribe to our channel so you can get updates on new videos and stay in the know about all things gardening. Click the red subscribe button below. See the description below for more information about how to connect with us on PlantersPlace.com, Facebook, and Instagram.